Joining me now is professor and author Walter Isaacson, who spent 2 years following Elon Musk for his best-selling book, Elon Musk, and is a professor at Tulane University. So I'm wondering, from your understanding of him, what is it about the far-right anti-immigration views that seem to attract Elon Musk? Because Germany has has laws, policies of don't forget, remember, fighting anti-Semitism. I've been there and done stories on this. So what he's saying to them about, don't pay attention to what happened is contradictory to German policy.
I think that Musk, in my book, the chapter's called The Rabbit Hole, you see him really embracing a somewhat conspiracist, populist, nativist, nationalist, anti-immigrant philosophies. And I think it builds up throughout his life. His father and his grandparents on his mother's side all had those ways. And as you know, Andrea, you see this all around the world. At the moment, there's nativist, populist, nationalistic, sometimes called right-wing, although I'm not quite sure what wings it truly belongs to. And it's happening with the AfD in Germany, but of course, it's happening with Marine Le Pen in France. And the rumblings of it are basically deeply anti-immigration in terms of massive asylum-seeking immigrants. But in Musk's case, it's combined, as you know, with the desire for legal immigrants, those who get H-1B visas, those who are engineers. So I think that his views, you can see it in the book throughout his life, starting to embrace this sense, but it's not all that unusual from what's happening around the world today with this populist, nativist, anti-immigration sentiments.
Except for, of course, the anti-Semitism is suggested here as well, and that he has a White House office. He has more influence on the President of the United States and more contracts, or very many contracts, defense contracts than others. So it raises questions about his power right now over Donald Trump. How do you explain that? Because when you were reporting on him, he was not in love with Donald Trump.
No, he was not in love with Donald Trump. I think he called Donald Trump, in my book, a charlatan and a con man. And then he said, but he reminds me of my father. And Musk has a very complex relationship with his own father. They don't speak really. But his father has that same type of very, I would say, conspiracist and extreme views. And is a fabulist. And so it's an interesting tale ever since Musk was a kid being beaten up and psychologically abused by his father, beaten up by other kids. When he was young, he fantasized as being the X-Man, the person coming in to try to save humanity. And now he's bonded with Donald Trump, especially on the pursuit of cutting back regulations, cutting federal spending, and streamlining things. There are a lot of other people in the Trump orbit who embrace a sort of populist nativism, such as Steve Bannon, but you see a split within the Trump community where Bannon was trying to get rid of Elon Musk because Elon Musk is part of that tech utopianism that Steve Bannon and others reject.
Well, Musk seems to be coming out on top in just every area. Ramaswamy is off to run for political office in Ohio. He's got sole control over the budget cuts. Do you have concerns about, writ large, the conflicts of interest as well as the power of someone like Elon Musk and others? Who are
Elon Musk,
the front row of the inaugural,
Absolutely, all of them sitting right in front of the cabinet. Musk sitting in front of the Commerce Secretary. So yeah, an inordinate amount of power. I think what worries me the most is that Elon Musk is used to operating not only in the private sphere, but the very private sphere, where he controls SpaceX, he controls Tesla, he owns Neuralink, and pretty much owns his AI company, XAI. And so he can take extraordinary risks, and those risks sometimes pay off. He's the only person being able to launch rockets and then land them upright with the Mechazilla arms catching them. So he's been able to recreate the internet in outer space. If you look at some of the things the federal government tried to do, I think it was spending $40 billion or so on broadband internet access, and it's connected 0 people, whereas Musk's Starlink has connected millions. So these things happen, but yeah, I'm concerned because to do so, he's got to break things, and he's got to take extraordinary risks, and he doesn't own the federal government, so it means that, unlike in his private companies, this is going to be a lot harder.